Yes.
I mean, you heard me.
Guys, we're the athletic. Donovan, you got to play next to Isaac tonight with you and Darius. And obviously, you played next to Karis the first couple games, but what stood out about how Isaac played with you guys?
Obviously, he's been working on his three-point game. He saw the confidence. I tell him this all the time. I don't care if you miss 10. You shoot it with confidence because he's the first one in the gym working on his threes. He's been there. It's been the first one I've seen every time I come in, and I try to get there early. So he's continuously working on his shot, and that's where the trust comes in from us. He's running the floor, shooting it right away. That's the biggest thing that I've taken away. I mean, obviously we can speak on his defense. Was fouling tonight a little bit, but that's what you want out of your one of your best defenders, if not your best defender, I would say. Just being physical, making it tough on guys. But you just look at his game on the offensive end. I think we all can say it's improved. I only saw him twice last year, obviously, and it's just been a big leap in my opinion from what I saw. And it's all about confidence, with him and the way he shot it today is the way he's been shooting it. He's been continuously getting in the gym early, and it's great to see him have a night like this. But he's got to continue to keep building, and he knows that. And it's great to see him continue to play with confidence.
And then, kind of overall, looking at this game as a whole, what stood out about just the way it was played on both ends of the floor, kind of before in comparison to the first two preseasons?
I think the first half we our energy was just there. We picked it up. We didn't shoot. We made shots, but we didn't shoot as well as we would like to. I mean, obviously myself and Darius, didn't shoot really great, but we got the looks we wanted to. We played the right way. It's not like they were forced stop. There were some errors that we made, and that's natural. But I think I got to say Darius Garland played phenomenal defensively today. Taking that challenge with Trae Young and also being able to do it on the offensive end. That's big time for us. I think the biggest thing was just play as a group, play together, continue. You got guys out, Ev, K-Love, Dean, Vert, a lot of points that are out, and that's you got to come in and continuously move the ball, find guys. Obviously, Mamadi played well, Chetty. I can go down the line, but as a group, the energy was there. We had that spark, and we gave up an 18-point. We were up 18 at one point, and then to give it up, and then to go back up, especially late game, that's huge.
And then, kind of going off what you said of when you aren't having a great shooting night, you and Darius, how do you guys work through that, and how have you worked through it just to keep taking your shots and the confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't angry, and I speak for myself when I say this, and I'm sure he'll say the same thing. I wasn't angry at a lot of the shots I missed. A lot of that is just it's preseason. You working these kinks out, and in the first half, I think for me, it was a lot of hesitation. Not really knowing when to shoot. Like I had a move where, I pulled back and then I was wide open and I passed it like to JA. Like that's just overthinking the game and trying to be too unselfish. Like we talked about this morning or the other morning, whatever it was, and that's just all that is, and just working that part out and becoming new. And then when you get to the second half, just building the rhythm and getting confident. And it's great when coach is pulling us aside and said, you turned one down, you got to shoot it, you knock it down. So when you're out there, you don't. I didn't know it was 26, but you just worry. When it's time to lock in, you lock in and continuously, get the reps up and get the reps in because, the work is there. And like I said, we missed easy ones, wide open ones, so it's just a matter of continuously putting the reps in and putting the work in. And, when it counted, him and I, we made shots when it counted, and that's our job, and make the right plays. He had 12 assists as well, impacting the game. I tried to get on the boards, obviously, without having two big men down there, but I think that's the biggest thing. Maybe we didn't shoot well, but how do we impact the game around us and make plays for others?
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Donovan. JB was talking about calling the first play of the third quarter for you, and you had struggled in the first half with your shot, and he still goes to you to come out of the second half. You're learning this coaching staff, and they're learning you. What does that tell you about them?
Like I just said, the confidence, like I said, we come into the bench and it's keep being aggressive. It's not, nothing else. It's 2 of 13, whatever it was at half. And it's still keep shooting. We're running this for you. You're going to get it. And like I said, it's not like they're bad looks. They're all looks that were within what we do. They're great passes that guys are getting to me, and I'm not making shots. But at the end of the day, you keep shooting because I know at the end of that, I put the work and I put the time in, and they're going to fall. Now if we get to a point where we're taking tough 30-footers, then that's where you run into a problem. But, I'm not mad at the looks I had today. There are few, obviously, always you can take away from a game. But when you have a staff and you have a coach, and I've been fortunate to have 2 coaches, in Quinn and now JB, who believe in me to continuously shoot, as well as my teammates. I think that makes it easier.
Over the summer, when Atlanta traded for DeJounte
Yep.
and then the Cavs traded for you, there was a lot of conversation about the two all-star backcourts in the
Yep.
Eastern Conference and who's the better backcourt between you and Atlanta. When you play against a team like this, does it raise your antenna at all?
I think this game would have raised both of our antennas because it was a playoff playing game last year. You know, it didn't. There would have been no trade. You know, at the end of the day. But I think when you have guys like myself, Darius, DeJounte, Trey, it's not so much more about the noise, more just about going against the best. You know, you want that challenge, and I know I speak for them, and they want that challenge as well. And you get excited. I wanted to go back in. Darius wanted to go back in. I'm sure they did too. But that's part of it. That's going to be, it's who we got to face. Four times a year, 3 times a year, whatever it may be. We're all going to be fighting for a playoff spot. I can't say, like, you play this game for those matchups. You don't run from them, and we're going to see them a bunch. And I think that's for us, just continuously being ready for every matchup, whatever it is. But obviously, when you play guys as talented as those two, with that whole team as well, we're both fairly young as a team, both teams, and you want that matchup always, and that's why you play the game. It's just what makes it fun.
Marla Ridenhour, Akron Beacon Journal. I'm just wondering where you think you stand with your chemistry with Darius. Is it a long way to go?
I think
halfway there, or where
I
are
think
you?
we're good. I think tonight we really unlocked a few things. I won't strategically, I won't tell you what exactly they are, but I think we saw a bunch of things that make the game a lot easier for both of us and where we like to be in. Putting ourselves, I'll just say we're putting ourselves in the same action. Third quarter really opened my eyes at least. He's obviously knows the system, knows where he likes to get going. But for me, okay, we can manipulate it here and not have to continuously run. Darius did a lot, man. He does a lot last year, and it's a tribute to his just his work ethic, and like I said, just here to make each other's lives easier, and just being able to see that tonight. To go back and watch it on film. How can we execute? Go back, continue to get the reps in this last preseason game, the few days we have, and then we got a tough game in Toronto and Chicago to start to see it on the road. But I think we're good. We can be much better. I will say that, but I wouldn't say we're in a bad place. I think we're in a really good place, and we can continue to build.
Because I was thinking, one time in the second quarter, you drove the lane and kicked it out there in the corner. I mean, it seemed like that was perfect.
Yeah.
Smooth, the whole.
For sure, like I said, he's driving it. He kicked it to me. You know what you're talking about? And then
you drove and you kicked it.
And then and I went in and he was right there. Like I said, and he said it a few times. You got to pick. Either I get a layup or he gets a 3. I'll give you one more example. There's the third quarter ran 4 times in a row. I go set the pin down for the big. He comes up and obviously it was Rolo, but now you got to think, is that Evan? Is that Jarrett? What does that look like? And just continue to build off that. And that's something I ran in Utah a bunch of times. And like I said, that's what I try to bring is different stuff. Not to come in and overrule or anything, but making things a little bit easier for both of us. And that's something I'm really comfortable with. And like I said, to see us continuously get better at it. And there's things that JB we put in. We didn't really run tonight. That I'm okay. I can see how we work here, and that's exciting. That's what keeps you going. And we still haven't played with Evan Mobley yet. You know what I mean? So this is I'm excited. I think we all are, and we definitely be better.
Yeah. Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland, with 3 preseason games in the books now and a week away from opening night. How ready is this group for the real games?
I think we are ready. I think we're all getting a little impatient. I think as everybody, I think we're excited to go, but we can't overlook, tonight we didn't. We can't overlook tomorrow. It's let's just get this over with and get to it. We got to test in Orlando. We got to continue to build upon what we did tonight. We had some lapses in different things and continue to build upon that. And like I always say, man, it's not going to be perfect, but you continue to build. And I think we're in a situation where guys are starting to figure things out. We're starting to get there. Obviously, we get a few guys back from injury and get a healthy group. And, we're excited. I think we're ready to go, locked in. And, we're going to come out ready against Toronto. And, we can continue to build. And that's the biggest thing. We can continue to take more steps and get better as a team throughout the year.
You mentioned, wanting to go back in near the end of the game and going up against Trey and DeJounte. Does it feel more like a regular season game than a preseason game, or at least?
I think out of all the 3 of them, I would say I would say yes. That's nothing against Philly. I think Philly taught us a bunch of things that we can learn and move and use. But I think tonight, with the minutes we play, with the rotations, and obviously guys are out, so it's a little different. But, like I said, both sides, you take that challenge. You look at Trey, look at DeJounte, myself, DG, and then you look at everybody. I think that was one of those games where you come in and you're just ready to go. You kind of get two games under your belt, both sides. I mean, obviously they played all the way in Abu Dhabi, but you come into this game playing pretty much the whole game, and that's what your mind is. It could have been whoever out there, but coming in tonight, all right, we got 34, 35 minutes tonight. Let's kind of replicate game-like situations. All right, we're up 18. Now we're down the lead. What are we running? What are we getting to? We need to stop. What are we doing? Kind of that's where the building the chemistry, I think, really, shows. You can do it in practice all you want, but how do you do it in a game like that?
That's why Evan Dever, Bolton. Donovan, you had touched on how JD and the staff encourage you to keep shooting, and you enjoy being empowered and enabled and encouraged by them. JD has touched on this a lot, but he wants to use you as a pseudo point guard for the bench unit sometimes. Can you touch on how, one, do you enjoy kind of being used in that role, and two, having your coaching staff just firmly believe and say, okay, we want the ball in Don's hands, and we want him running out?
Yeah, like I said, that means the world when you have, like I said, you have a staff that can tells you to continue shooting every time you come to the bench, especially when you miss like 3 or 4 in a row. But I like playing point guard. I like playing 2 guard. I'm good at both. And coming here, obviously DG's the point. I'm the 2. But when DG's out, I'm the point. And then when Ricky comes back, Ricky's the point. Like Ricky and I've done that for 2 years, so we kind of know. But that's all my mindset is. It's just trying to play off and trying to find my way through, and without losing myself. And like I said, when you have a coach that tells you this is how I want you to play, one in your hands, we trust you, that's where you start, the comfortability starts to come and and it helps, like I said, playing with Raul, like in that lineup, because I could say something to Raul and it's the same language from Quinn Snyder, and I'm starting to learn the language here in Cleveland, so then he can tell me, all right, this is what it is, this is what it's called, this is where you put guys in certain spots. So being able to do that through practice, through games, now I'm able to speak the same language as everybody on a consistent basis. But I do enjoy that. I enjoy having the ball in my hands. Obviously, who wouldn't? But I feel like I can do both, and playing off of DG, but also when DG's in, it's his show, and for me, it's like, all right, cool. Now I control and trying to find things as well, and still trying to figure that out a little bit. It's going to take time. It's not going to just click, but I'm very comfortable with that, and I'm sure DG is as well. Thank you.